I'm Larissa. I go to the Billericay High School Sixth Form and I study AS Media. For our course, we got set the task of creating a 2-minute opening sequence where we have to pick our own genre and undertake the research, planning and evaluation for the opening sequence. I decided to do a mystery film because when I undertook primary and secondary research, this came out as a popular genre with teenagers. As a part of my research and planning, I used a blogging site called Tumblr to document the whole project because Tumblr allowed me to bring in a variety of technology like hyperlinks and videos. For example, I annotated an actual film opening sequence using Final Cut. This shows technological convergence as I'm combining two different media platforms. Whilst doing research and planning, I used the following technology: Microsoft PowerPoint, iPhone 6s, eMaze presentation, Tumblr, Box Office Mojo and YouTube. Then for filming and editing I used a Nixon camera, tripod, iPhone, Final Cut Express and QuickTime. Before this I had never used this sort of equipment except for when I had a taster doing a preliminary task, where we had to include different types of editing and cinematography skills. The first technology that I used is Tumblr, Google and YouTube in order to research into opening sequence and to make multiple textual analysis, and this meant that I could discover the conventions of other opening sequences that I can use in my one. I mainly looked into mystery films like Seven and Gone Girl. Once I finished my research and planning, I was able to start filming my opening sequence. The technology that I used to film my sequence was a Nixon D3300 DSLR camera to film it. This created high quality film. Whilst filming, I did not need to change the setting as I was happy with the auto setting. Me creating this opening sequence is an example of democratization, which is where, because there are now digital cameras available to people, anyone can make a film. However, they cannot always be good films. I then moved on to editing, where I watched through my footage and started to put it together on Final Cut. I decided to slow down the pace of my character walking through a field looking for the stalker. So what have I learned? I have learnt how to use a number of different technologies. During the research and planning phase, I used a variety of platforms to present information. During the constructional phase, my knowledge of cameras and editing software has greatly improved, meaning my finished opening sequence actually looks like a conventional opening sequence. I have also learnt that technology has a wider impact on filmmaking. The move towards digital technology, as expressed in the documentary Side by Side, has enabled many aspiring filmmakers to create an interesting project. This democratisation has brought about an increase in a number of films being made. For example, the film Monsters by Gareth Edwards was created using a prosumer camera and editing software which was freely available. The Ellington Kid, a short film, also shows the proliferation of new material, and this was distributed via the internet, which in itself shows an example of technological convergence. This technological convergence is further emphasised by me using this voiceover now, where I have been able to show off a great amount of many different technologies. The technologies and the various platforms can all be combined to produce an engaging presentation.